Welcome back to English 4.0, the radio show. Let's go! Intermediate.
Hello and welcome back to Class 78, the intermediate portion of the class now. And starting with a little review of what we were looking at in the last class, in Class 77, we were talking about the verb to take. Take, took, taken. Take, took, taken. Every day I take, yesterday I took, lately I have taken. And we talked about some of the different uses of this verb. We can say to take a pill. We have take as in tomar. But we often use this, for example, with medication. I don't like to take pills. I don't like taking. We can also say, I don't like taking pills. I take vitamins sometimes. I take vitamin C. It's something very typical in North America, I think, to take multivitamins and to take vitamin C, for example. Nacho, do you take vitamins? Do you take multivitamins?
No, I don't.
No, I think it's very North American to take pills for vitamins. So instead of drinking fresh orange juice, we just take a pill. We drink a Coca-Cola and then we take a vitamin C pill, the pastilla, right? It's typical American, I think, but it's not a good habit. I think it's better. The qualities of vitamins are better in the natural form, I think, by eating fruit. But I'll admit sometimes, especially at the start of the winter, I will take some multivitamins. So a pill that contains vitamin C, vitamin E, different vitamins that are good to help protect my immune system. So to take. And then to take a photo. To take a photo. Today I took a photo. Yesterday I took a photo. And we were getting into the present perfect. So, well, we can review this structure with the present perfect as well. How many photos have you taken so far this week? And let's say the answer is 3. I have taken 3 photos so far this week. I took a shower. So, ducharse, to take a shower. I took a shower this morning. But since then, I have not taken a shower. So, I have taken 1 shower so far today. To take a shower. To take a nap. Echarse la siesta. To take a nap. I didn't take a nap yesterday, but I took a nap last Sunday. I sometimes take naps on Sunday. My brother takes naps on Saturday afternoons. He takes naps, and I take naps. Last Sunday I took a nap. Lately, I have not taken many naps. Then we have to take a holiday. Cogerse unas vacaciones. To take a holiday, we say. To take someone to a certain place. Hey, can you take me to the airport? Can you take me to the airport? I don't want to drive out there because I'll have no place to leave my car. So can you take me to the airport? Can you take me there? Okay. So then we have, all these different uses of the verb to take. Take, took, taken. Take, took, taken. All right. Now let's move on and practice our translation list.
Translation.
Here we are with translation list 17. Reviewing now, translation list 17. Number 1. ¿Cuánto tardaste en aprender tu trabajo? How long did it take you to learn your job? How long did it take you to learn your job? That's an interesting question. How long did it take you to learn your job? I mean, I think for me, to teach English, I trained to teach English. I trained with Vaughan Systems. And then I started teaching. But when I started, I didn't feel comfortable. And it took me a while. It took me. How long did it take you? ¿Cuánto tardaste? Well, it took me a few months to learn how to do my job, to learn to do my job as well. To do it properly, to be comfortable. It took me a while. ¿Me estás hablando a mí? Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? Number 3. Creí que hablabas contigo mismo. I thought you were talking to yourself. Contigo mismo, to yourself. I thought you were talking to yourself. Number 4. No sé dónde están. I don't know where they are. I don't know where they are. Entrégalo lo antes posible. Deliver it as soon as possible. As soon as possible. Number 6. ¿Dónde has estado? Where have you been? Where have you been? Number 7. ¿Dónde estuviste anoche? Where were you last night? Where were you last night? And number 8. ¿Dónde estás ahora? Where are you now? Where are you now? Number 9. ¿Dónde estarás a las 10 esta noche? Where will you be at 10 o'clock tonight? Number 10. ¿Dónde estarías ahora sin mí? Where would you be now without me? Number 11. Había muchos errores en el informe. There were a lot of mistakes in the report. Number 12. ¿Estás seguro de que quieres hacerlo? Are you sure you want to do it? ¿Estás seguro de que quieres hacerlo? Are you sure you want to do it? Are you sure? Okay, very good. Well done. Now, this was a review. We looked at this translation list already. This was a review, so hopefully you're doing all right with these translation lists. We've introduced the lists because it's a great way to practice the grammar structures that we have seen so far. So if you're getting, say, 9 of them correct, 9, 10, 11, 12, then you're doing, well, 12, you're certainly perfect. 11, very, very good. 9 and 10, pretty good, but less than 9 or less than, say, 9 or 8, you should be going back and in the materials in your student guide and making sure that you understand the concepts. Okay, because if you're following along, paying attention, you should be learning and you should be doing okay with these translation lists. Let's move on now.
Word of the day.
All right, it is time for our word of the day. That's right, our word of the day today is pulmones. Lungs. Lungs. L-U-N-G-S. L-U-N-G-S. Lungs. Lungs. Yes. They say smoking is bad for your lungs. Tus pulmones. Your lungs. So when we breathe, we fill our lungs with air. Lungs. That's our word of the day. A bit different. A bit strange, a word of the day like that, lungs, but good to know. So little by little, in addition to the vocabulary that we have, and we will see in a few minutes, we have a few additional words that don't appear on the television. And that's our word today, lungs. Okay. So here we are in class 78, and we're practicing forming questions in the present perfect. So I will say, ask me. Ask me if I've been to the supermarket so far this week. Have you been to the supermarket so far this week? Yes, I have. I have been to the supermarket so far this week. So remember, so far. Hasta ahora. De momento. So far. Very important. Every time we use so far, we're speaking in the present perfect. Ask me if I've taken the bus so far this week. Kyle, have you taken the bus so far this week? Yes, I've taken the bus so far this week. Ask me if I've eaten a pizza so far this week. Kyle, have you eaten a pizza so far this week? Yes, I've eaten a pizza so far this week. Ask me if I've gone to the movies so far this week. Kyle, have you gone to the movies so far this week? Yes, I've gone to the movies so far this week. In fact, no, that's not true. I haven't. I haven't gone to the movies so far this week. Ask me if I've called my mother so far this week. Kyle, have you called your mother so far this week? Yes, I've called my mother so far this week. I've called her once so far this week. Ask me if I've driven a car so far this month. Kyle, have you driven a car so far this month? Yes, I've driven a car so far this month. Drive, drove, driven. Drive, drove, driven. So it's very important that you study these irregular verbs. And they appear in your student manual. We have verbs appearing regularly, popping up. And it's very important that you study these verbs and memorize the participles, that third column, so that you can quickly and without thinking. You want this to come natural. You want this to come naturally to you. You want to quickly get the participle correct every time. So that comes with practice. Practice makes perfect. Okay, and we'll continue to drill and practice with the present perfect, so you will gain agility. Just make sure you're paying attention and always reading out, and always speaking out loud, answering, following along out loud at home, and you'll improve faster. Okay? Vocabulary of the day. Yes, it is time for the vocabulary of the day. The vocabulary of the day today, our first word is prestar. Prestar, which is, in English, to lend. L-E-N-D, lend, to lend. And the opposite of lend, by the way, is tomar prestado, which in Spanish you essentially say to take lent, but we don't say that. We say in English to borrow. Borrow. So we can lend things to people, and we borrow things from them. Lend to, borrow from. Ingenio. Ingenuity. Ingenuity, we say. Ingenuity. Ooh, he was very clever. He was inventive. He had great ingenuity. Okay? So this means that you're clever, you can invent, you can create new things, new ideas. You're creative. Ingenuity. This is the noun. Actualizar, to update. To update. Update. We have to update the computer system. We have to update the files. Yesterday I updated the files. Okay. Semáforo. Traffic light. Traffic light. Yeah, we had to stop at the traffic light. We stopped at the red light, and then it turned green, and we went. Semáforo, traffic light. They appear in intersections. We say the intersections where the roads cross. We call that an intersection. But there we have the lights, so we often say, go up to the first light, to the first traffic light, turn left, go to the next traffic light, and turn right. Traffic light. Típico. Everyone knows this word, típico. Typical. Typical. You go down to Madrid, down to the center of Madrid around Sol, and you'll see a lot of restaurants that say typical Spanish food, say in English. Typical Spanish. And I suppose the creators of those signs think that that's a great way to attract tourists who are looking for that typical Spanish paella. Oh, typical Spanish. This looks like a good place to eat. and you go in and it's full of Americans and not a single Spanish person. Typical Spanish. No, I don't know. But I see that a lot. Typical Spanish. Very popular word in Spain. Typical. Yeah. It's interesting. Typical Spanish. Typical. Typical. Okay. We only have a few minutes left, so I quickly want to practice the week before last. La semana anterior a la pasada. O hace 2 semanas también. The week before last. So we can practice, or the month before last. So with the verbs to catch, to spend, and to take. Some recent verbs. Did you catch a train the week before last? Give me an affirmative answer. Yes, I caught a train the week before last. Did you spend money the month before last? Yes, I spent money the month before last. Did you catch a taxi the month before last? Yes, I caught a taxi the month before last. Did you catch a cold the week before last? Yes, I caught a cold the week before last. Did you spend $100 the month before last? Yes, I spent $100 the month before last. Did you take an aspirin the day before last? Yes, I took an aspirin the day before last. Okay, folks, people, friends. I often say this, folks. It means people, everybody. We are out of time, but I want to thank you so much for listening. We're going to go to a break. I'll be back soon. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.